That is crazy that there's a grave right there. Hey everyone, it's Robert and you're watching Sidestep Adventures. Now I show you guys a lot of forgotten graves out in the woods and largely in the middle of nowhere. Today that's going to be completely different. As you can see behind me, I'm standing behind some dumpsters and some businesses back there, and there's some kind of housing right there, and just in these woods right here is an old forgotten cemetery. So let's get started. Alright, so this is one of the times where I'm not really sure to begin, but I guess we'll start with these three graves here, try to get them uncovered a little bit and identify them. I'll grab the brush. This is Confederate grave here, and a Masonic grave with an interesting brick top. It says here W.A. Nix, born November 18th, 1842, and died December 1st, 1913. And up here the headstone is Confederate grave, William A. Nix, Company F, 5th Georgia Reserve, Confederate States of America. Mariah E. Nix. It's kind of interesting inscription there. The way the letters are stamped in. I think it's a backwards N. Borned as B-O-R-N-E-D, May 22nd, 1845, and died August 20th, 1920. Over here is Bo Nix, again with the backwards N over there. Born August 1845. I can't see the date there. Let me move this bag out of the way. Let me see that real quick. August 6th. There we go. So it says born August 6th, I think that's 85, yeah, 1885, and died November 7th, 1919. So I'm just kind of looking in the woods now to see if there's any other headstones in there mixed in with all the ice house cans. I don't see any. See if there's any marking on these two here before we go further back. I already see some kind of inscription. Alright, so this is Willie Althea Nix, 1875 to 1908. All right, here's John, again with the backwards N. I think that's just kind of interesting to see that in these graves. John Wilbur Nix, 1872 to 1932. All right, so here's a knocked over headstone that actually belongs there. This is Nettie Ellis, born October 10th, 1880, and died May 26th, 1929. She was a kind and affectionate wife, a fond mother, and a friend to all. There we go. I stood back up for now. A little bit of good done here. Alright, so next up here is a Colt 45 can and some other interesting small headstones, probably children, and they are hand engraved. It's R.H. Wood, born March 16th, 1908, and died October 3rd, 1908. Let's see if there's any marking on this one or if this is just some kind of footstone. And there's no engraving on that, so I'm going to assume these are all footstones. All right, no engraving there, but there is up here. C.L. Lloyd, born September 9th, 1906, died September 22nd, 1908. Again, hand engraved while the concrete was still wet. No marking on that last one there. So go ahead and look over here. This is Samantha J. Wood, 1866 to 1910. It says, "Rest, mother, rest in quiet sleep, while friends in sorrow o'er thee weep." All right, so those are all the marked graves that I've seen so far. Now the question becomes, what else is out in these woods? And if you look right there, you probably won't be able to see that on camera, but there's a indentation in the ground. It's probably a grave. See if, I guess there's no real angle where you guys can probably see it as well as I can, but it's right there. Looks child-sized. Oh, Cody just found one over here. That one's very, very covered up. It's because of wisteria vines. Let's see if we can't get it cleared out and document it. All right, so I've got this one where we can read it, and it's obviously there's a large thicket there that take a lot of cutting to get in there, but I can read it enough to document it here. This is the grave of Charlie Lee Lloyd, born September 1st, 1906, and died September 22nd, 1908. And at the bottom of the stone, it says "Asleep in Jesus." So I just pulled it up on Find a Grave, and it lists there being 27 memorials out here. Now we've only done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've only done 11 marked graves out here, not counting that depression in the ground that I saw. So there's still quite a few more, but it's a matter of finding them. I guess they're probably in this thicket. Cody's going to go have a little look, and then I'm going to follow him in the woods. First I wanted to look over here, see if there were any more covered up by these vines like that one was. I think it's crazy how the cemetery sits in the middle of town now, and as always, I wonder what this area looked like so very long ago when they were burying people here. There's a huge tree stump right there. Looks like that was probably a cedar tree. And it's funny because oftentimes it seems that cemeteries in the city are worse off than ones we find out in the country down dirt roads. I don't see anything else in these woods right away. Maybe if I know there's a couple of y'all that are local and have been to some of the cemeteries that I've been to and have added them to Find a Grave. So if y'all see this video and know where the other graves are that I missed, be sure to let me know. We did just find this pile of bricks right here. That could be an old foundation, or... oh no, there's another one. There's another one right there. So these are graves. This says, "In memory of A. Odom, born May 16th, 1784, and died April 28th, 1860. That's interesting. Look where it's at, right behind this business here. And that's no doubt maybe the grave, maybe that tomb right there, that rock pile is the tomb for that headstone right there. And then you have to ask, are there any graves under this business here? That were paved over long ago? Hopefully not. Alright guys, so I didn't really get to shoot a proper outro there. We're actually in a pretty bad part of town right now where that cemetery was, and we started drawing some attention back there in those woods, so it started getting kind of sketchy for us to stay back there. But I hope you enjoyed seeing that place, and very, very interesting old cemetery. I'd actually like to go back there again, maybe with a few more people, and see if I can't find the other graves out there, because that fascinates me. And as always, it's interesting how that was probably someone's land, probably farmland out here so very long ago, and I think the earliest grave was 1860 out there. So those are pretty old graves. Anything pre-Civil War I consider pretty old for this area. And how much the land has changed. Now we're at a busy street in a rough part of town behind some businesses and dumpsters and some apartments, and there's a cemetery right there that's so very old. It's just, it really fascinates me how time changes. So I'm just going to show you the road that we're on real quick. And it's just kind of mind-boggling to me that there's a cemetery right there. I know that it's not really that unusual, but it's really interesting, I think. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next adventure.